What happens when a tennis legend sees his own reflection not in the mirror, but in a 1-year-old player tearing through the sport? Roger Federer, the man who defined elegance and dominance for 2 decades, has finally admitted something shocking. Carlos Alcaraz reminds him of himself. But why? What qualities does the young Spaniard carry that echo Federer's genius, his grace, and his ability to captivate the world? Stick around, because today we dive deep into Federer's own words, the comparisons experts are making, and the breathtaking moments where Alcaraz feels like Federer reborn. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly why Federer believes Alcaraz is carrying the torch of his legacy. For 2 decades, Federer wasn't just a champion, he was the definition of tennis itself. 20 Grand Slam titles, 310 weeks at world number 1. Flawless technique that made fans believe the game could be played like art. But every era ends. Federer retired in 2022, leaving behind a void. Many wondered, who would embody that same effortless brilliance? Who could captivate crowds with artistry, not just power? Enter Carlos Alcaraz. At just 21, he's already a 2-time Grand Slam champion, the youngest ever to be ranked world number 1, and the man who stopped Novak Djokovic at Wimbledon in 2023 inches, one of the most stunning matches of the decade. And when Federer was asked what he thought of Alcaraz, his answer wasn't technical. It wasn't about rankings or strokes. It was emotional. Federer said Alcaraz reminds him of himself, not just in how he plays, but in how he carries himself on the biggest stages. But what exactly does Federer see in Alcaraz? Let's break it down. The first reason Federer sees himself in Alcaraz comes down to style. Federer played with an ease that felt supernatural. His forehand flowed like water. His one-handed backhand cut through the air with elegance. He didn't just win, he looked beautiful doing it. Now look at Alcaraz. His game is explosive, yes, but it's also filled with creativity. Drop shots disguised until the very last second. Lightning reflexes at the net. A willingness to take risks, to play shots no one else would dare. Federer has said that when he watches Alcaraz, he sees a joy for the game that mirrors his own. Alcaraz doesn't grind opponents down mechanically, he entertains. He makes tennis fun to watch. Take the Wimbledon final of 2023. Djokovic had all the experience, all the composure. But Alcaraz played with freedom, hitting trick shots under pressure, smiling between points, and yet still showing killer instinct. That blend of artistry and courage, that's pure Federer, but it's not just about style, it's about mindset. And that's where the comparison gets even deeper. When Federer was young, stepping onto center court at Wimbledon didn't scare him, it inspired him. Remember 2001, when a 19-year-old Federer took down Pete Sampras, the king of grass? He didn't freeze under the lights, he thrived. Alcaraz shows the same trait. Pressure doesn't crush him, it fuels him. Look at how he faced Djokovic in that epic Wimbledon clash. After losing the first set 1-6, most 20-year-olds would have collapsed. But Alcaraz adjusted, believed in himself, and flipped the script. He won in 5 sets, breaking Djokovic's aura of invincibility. Federer has said Alcaraz reminds him of that fearless kid he once was. The one who walked into stadiums full of legends and believed he belonged. That belief, that refusal to bow down, is what separates champions from contenders. And it's not arrogance, it's confidence mixed with joy. Just like Federer, Alcaraz isn't burdened by the weight of expectation, he embraces it. But there's a third reason Federer sees himself in Alcaraz, and it has nothing to do with forehands or trophies. It's about the crowd. Federer wasn't just loved because he won, he was adored because of the way he made people feel. Fans connected with his grace, his sportsmanship, and his ability to bring beauty into competition. Alcaraz is building the same connection. Crowds don't just cheer his victories, they cheer his smile, his energy, his charisma. Even when he makes mistakes, he bounces back with a grin that wins the stadium over. Think about the 2022 US Open final. At 19, Alcaraz played nearly 24 hours of tennis over 2 weeks, fighting through marathon matches. But every night, Arthur Ashe Stadium erupted not just for his shots, but for his spirit. That joy, that lightness, that's Federer's DNA. Federer has said that when he sees Alcaraz playing, he sees someone who loves the game, loves the crowd, and gives something special back. For Federer, It's not just about winning, it's about creating memories for fans. And Alcaraz is doing exactly that. And it's not just Federer saying it. Other legends are seeing the same parallels. Andy Roddick once said, "Federer made the game look easy, like he was floating." When asked about Alcaraz, he added, "That kid plays with freedom. He's fearless, and that's the closest thing we've seen to Roger." John McEnroe has echoed the comparison too. After Alcaraz's Wimbledon win, McEnroe said, "He has charisma, he has variety, he has guts. The crowd loves him, and that's Federer all over again." And Federer himself? He put it plainly, "When I see Alcaraz, I see someone who plays for the joy of it. That's how I felt when I was young. He reminds me of that." Hearing Federer pass the torch in this way tells us something bigger. He doesn't just see Alcaraz as a great player, he sees him as the continuation of a legacy, the living embodiment of tennis played with both artistry and heart. So, is Alcaraz really Federer too, or something even more? So, why does Federer say Alcaraz reminds him of himself? It's not just the explosive forehands, the daring drop shots, or the trophies already piling up. It's the mindset, the joy, the connection with fans. It's the way Alcaraz carries the game forward while still honoring the past. Maybe Alcaraz isn't Federer too. Maybe he's the bridge, combining Federer's elegance with modern power, creating something entirely new. One thing is certain, Federer sees in Alcaraz the same spark that once changed tennis forever. And that means the sport is in good hands. And if you thought this was fascinating, wait until you hear what Federer said about Novak Djokovic's dominance and how Alcaraz might be the one to finally end it. That's coming up in our next video. Don't miss it.